I actually had a similar start to my career like you. Not the college part of it. I did not go to Berkeley or anything fancy. But I started in QA as well. And It's funny, you talked about the basement. When I worked at WD, we actually had a basement layer.
Oh my gosh.
And that was where like the ultimate quality assurance was going on for the actual hard drives. And it was in like clean rooms and people wearing like, it looked like white suits. So like they're basically like hazmat downstairs. But I was in the third level of the building where we had quality, but we were still like in our dungeon, which was like a lab.
Yeah.
Right? So we would have to go through, everything was static proof. Everything was like, you had to make sure that you went through the proper training because you're still touching electronics and whatnot. But it was really neat to me because I worked in a grocery store before that and customer service. So I had some aspect of quality. I was always a tech person. I was really into gaming and building my computers and all that fun stuff. But quality gave me access to people around the company. So like I got to learn what I wanted to do within tech, right? So I was in quality. I go talk to support people and I talked to the product management team. I would talk to marketing and the events, and I just kind of like built my connections. I'm like, what are you people doing over here? I want to learn what you're doing, and it just takes you on this like cool career, right? Because quality is important. It's kind of the root of everything being good. Yeah. But then you can like build those connections, and like I ended up in product, and now I'm in marketing for whatever reason. But I'm still, in my nature, someone who cares about quality and someone who cares about products, and I treat our marketing like it is a product.
I completely agree.
I totally relate to your story, and it's super cool that we have that small connection between.
I think it's a very good way to get. I want to choose my words wisely here, because it's really easy to say QA is a good way to get your foot in the door, but that assumes that you know what you want to do and that you're just going to use it as, a way to like weasel your way to the role that you want. Like that's not what I want to say. What I actually want to say is it's a great way to figure out what you want to do, because kind of just like going to college undeclared, like you're trying out all these different things. You're figuring out what you like, what you're good at. Being in QA, usually you're in a role where you're a generalist. And so what you're testing, at least in the video game world, is art, audio, functionality, connectivity, so it's a multitude of different things that you just kind of have to be a generalist at. And what that gives you is, if you're embedded, ideally, you have that opportunity to interface with all of these different disciplines and really get to understand how a game is being built or how an app is being built. And if you have those relationships, you start to get to figure out like, these are the traits that an engineer has. And that's, maybe generalist, but generally engineers have this trait and that's why they're really good at it. Generally artists have this trait and that's why they're really good at it, etc. And that's, for me, I was in QA, like I said, for a very long time, like 10 years off and on throughout different projects. But like I said, I got my hand at a few different roles. And what that did for me was help me figure out, what do I like to do and why do I like to do it? And so for people to like kind of have that opportunity to interface with people, like got my hand at product stuff, and I've been doing that off and on for a long time. I like it for a multitude of reasons, and I don't like it for a multitude of reasons. Like there's a lot of investment emotionally and creatively that you have to put as a product person. And if, I'm a creative person, so I like doing that. But if it's for somebody else's product, I'm working for a company and I'm building what they have asked me to build, maybe I'm into it for one project, maybe I'm not for the next. And so that's, there's something emotionally that's difficult for me as a creative person to invest myself into something that I'm not in love with, but I need to be in love with. I need to be the one in the room that's in love with this thing. And what I figured out about myself is I'm a people person. I love to communicate. I love to collaborate. I love process, because when you're in QA and you see that there's no process, you're not going to hear squat, because nothing's going to get documented. Nothing's going to get communicated. There's no transparency likely. And so what I figured out is, a person in this industry, that I wanted to do more than anything else is I wanted to make sure that the processes were sensible, functioning, consistent, understood across the team. And I was just always trying to influence that, but that really wasn't my role. And so that's where I figured out project, program, production management, all of that stuff. Those are the people that get to do that. And what they're doing is maybe less creative, maybe less impactful to the actual final product, but they're supporting a team of people to build something. And if you can be that person, then what you're doing is you're bringing cohesion, you're bringing consistency, you're bringing a certain level of lowering anxiety levels, because everybody doesn't have to worry about the process. And so I figured out that that's what I love to do. And it's taken 15 years to figure it out, trying 1,000 different things. And maybe I'll change my mind next year. But there's, that's the thing about quality, is like, you're touching all of these different disciplines. You get to try things out. You get to, learn what you think you like, and then learn, actually, I don't like that. So I think it's a great way for people, and they're usually entry-level positions, so it's a great way for somebody to kind of figure out, I like this industry, I just don't know what to do. Figure out what you want to do.